From expectations to conversations, we offer all the services you would expect. HealhFirst Network provides quality, confidential reproductive health care, education, and nutrition counseling. We've talked about a lot of different programs with HealhFirst Network, and Suzanne Polacek joining me this time talking about Fit Families, and Fit Families kind of ties in with the WIC program, which makes sense because you're a WIC dietitian, and you're soon taking over the WIC program here.
Correct, yes. So the Fit Families program is a program that we do in conjunction with the WIC program. It's geared towards 2 to 4-year-old children and potentially their families. The program is one that focuses on childhood obesity and preventing childhood obesity. So what the program does is families choose a goal, something that they want to work on, and then we help them achieve that goal over the 13-month time period.
So how do you do that?
The families choose a goal that they'd like to work on. It could be something from decreasing screen time, increasing physical activity, increasing the amount of fruits and vegetables they consume in a day, or changing the beverages that they drink. We set a goal with them and then work with them on a monthly basis by either texting, calling, or emailing them and checking in with them to see how their goal is going and then giving them tips and suggestions on how they can better achieve that goal.
Now, you mentioned it's 13 months. Why 13 months rather than like 6 or 12 or, the typical time length that you usually think of something going?
Sure. So we collect starting data. We get a BMI from the family, and then we ask some of the questions regarding how much screen time, how much fruits and vegetables they consume. And then we wait that full year to make sure that, we've captured all the data we can. And then we re-ask those same questions at the 13-month mark to see what changes they've made or if there's been improvements in certain areas.
So what are you using the data for?
The state Fit Family program analyzes that data. They have a separate team that analyzes it, and then they send back reports annually that tells each program how they've done in terms of improving the fruit and vegetable consumption in children or decreasing screen time. So the state uses that information then to kind of evaluate program success, just how we're doing as a state in terms of obesity prevention.
Now, you mentioned it's for the ages of 2 to 4. What about kids that are outside of that, that are maybe a little younger, a little older? They've got some older siblings. Is there ways that you can use some of the stuff that you're using for this specific age group to help a family continue with their fitness?
Sure, absolutely. We see a lot of families that, like you said, have younger siblings or older siblings that don't necessarily fit that age group, but there is an option for the family to choose a modeling goal, and that modeling goal then includes the whole family. So it could be something like being active as a family 2 times a week or turning screen time off after 7 p.m. each night.
What do you use for suggestions for people that are, that are having a hard time maybe hitting their goal for less screen time or more vegetables or more fruits or,
Sure.
eating healthier?
We talk about, what their current lifestyle is, what is achievable for them. And maybe it's just achievable in the next month. So if they're working to eliminate screen time or decrease screen time, if they're at 4 hours a day now, we talk about how to get them to 3. And then once they hit that 3 mark, then we'll go down to 2. So it could be things like setting a timer on, a tablet or an iPad. It could be, being more active outside so that the family isn't doing screen time.
Working toward positive family behaviors is the way to do this. I mean, so you're whittling it down piece by piece. You mentioned 4 hours of screen time for a kid. Does that include television and computer? And is that everything across the board?
Sure. So we define screen time as TV, tablet, phone, and unfortunately, because of COVID and the virtual world we're living in now, we tell families to not count the school time because obviously they're out of control in that, but anything extra. So 4 hours seems like a lot, but in reality, for a lot of families, that's actually probably fairly low.
Right.
We see a lot of families that have 5, 6, 7+ hours of screen time a day.
What about for eating different things, like getting used to having a kid maybe eat more vegetables or grains instead of candy, or you know what I mean?
Sure. So we talk about, trying one new vegetable or fruit a month. We talk about different ways that families can incorporate it. A lot of families, especially at that 2-year mark, are afraid to offer raw vegetables or some fruits to their kids. So trying a raw vegetable maybe with dip, adding different fruits or vegetables into smoothies or pureeing them and putting them in sauces like pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce. We try to get as creative as possible, especially for those kids that won't eat it if they see it. So we try to give as creative of suggestions as we can think of.
Suzanne, has the Fit Families program shown some positive outcomes?
Absolutely. So last year, statewide, even with COVID going on, the state had over 1,500 families participating in the program in some way, shape, or form. And we've seen some significant reductions in the amount of sugary beverages kids are drinking, the screen time reduction, and then the amount of fruits and vegetables they're eating going in a positive direction, so more in a day. Really, that's our goal, just to help families change their behavior and become healthier overall. This Fit Family program was actually designed by one of our previous WIC directors here, so it has some history. She was one of the founders of the program. We actually have the largest caseload in the state for programs. So it's funded by SNAP, which is a federally funded program, but then the Fit Family program has its own funding. SNAP is like the Supplemental Nutrition Education Program. It does things with UW Extension and Food Share and things like that.
For more information, visit www.healthfirstnetwork.org or find us on social media at HealthFirst Network, Inc.